going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. This is Steven in Stereo, and in today's video we are actually diving back into the band Waterparks. So I want to give a huge shout out to Jody on Patreon for actually requesting this band again. I'm pretty sure you said it is one of your favorite bands, so I imagine we're going to see a lot more coming from them. Now, the first song I checked out from them was actually, I think their newest single, and I was a pretty big fan of it right away. I really enjoyed the lyricism and just the overall production of that song, so I'm really excited to check this out. This is an official music video for Watch What Happens Next. As you guys know, always throw the good headphones on to make sure you guys get good audio quality, and I enjoyed the song the way it was meant to be heard. So this is Waterparks. Watch what happens next. Woo! That tambourine.
Probably gonna hurt me. Got nothing from a label. But you pay me what you owe me. If you play guitar, you can't want things. And if you really love me, you should want the best for me.
Okay, this very much reminds me of that first track we listened to on the lyrics already. I want to be a millionaire when I'm 30, but saying that is probably gonna hurt me. I feel like a lot of people do put a negative connotation to having a goal like that, because people think that you know, it's wrong to have that as a goal. Money isn't everything. But I also love the fact that, you know, this dude wants to get what he feels he deserves, and he wants to have a goal, and having a goal is very important. He also called out his label there, Pay Me What You Owe Me. I love that. I recently found out that Waterparks is from Houston. I was born in Houston, so I feel like we have this, you know, we have this relationship now because of that.
Probably gonna hurt me. Got nothing from a label. But you pay me what you owe me. If you play guitar, you can't want things. And if you really love me, you should want the best for me.
Woo!
When bands break up, well, guess what? We're defeated as fuck, shamed out of money by their own culture. Nice to fucking meet you. Let's get a little see-through. Watch what happens next. Yeah.
Cool shirts, I like cold rings. I want a big house. I want nice things. I want
Oh.
for all my friends. I want a big house. I want nice things.
You don't want me the same.
Hold on. Okay, so I'm guessing that other track we listened to has references to past songs, because I heard that lyric in the most recent track. It was one of my favorite things about that song. I also love the fact that this goes into like a totally huge pop punk or almost emo vibe when you get into that chorus.
Let's get a little see-through. Watch what happens next. Yeah.
I like cool shirts, I like cold rings. I want a big house. I want nice things. I want jetpacks for all my friends. I want a big house. I want nice things.
Ooh!
You don't want me the same. It's such a
Oh, fuck
fucking
yeah.
shame. I don't deserve as much as all your pop fails. You wanna hear my art, but only on your terms. So learn these fucking words.
I like cool shirts, I like cold rings. I want a big house. I want nice things. I want jetpacks for all my friends. I want a big house. I want nice things.
Okay, there's a lot of things to dissect here, but one of the biggest things I love about this is them being outspoken about just the fact that, you know, bands, they said something along the lines of you're upset when bands hurt, but we're fucking super, he said something about being super exhausted or super whatever. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so what I love is the fact that, you know, you love our band, but only on your own terms, things like that. So when he's saying you know, I want to make a living doing this, I want to be successful, and this is one of the ways I want to do that. And some people take that with such a negative connotation, but it doesn't always have to be bad to make money. Especially with bands, a lot of bands, you know, when you dedicate your life to music, you're not doing it for the money, but whenever that opportunity is there, sometimes that is, you know, what keeps you being able to thrive. And if you haven't noticed, here in the modern day of coronavirus, so many of your favorite artists that aren't necessarily as big are struggling because they gave up everything. As A Day to Remember said, I sold my soul to the open road. You give up everything to tour. You give up everything to be able to live this passion of being able to play music and, you know, play to your heart's desire. And all you do as a band is get up there on stage and, you know, you play your heart out, and then you say, hey guys, make sure to check out the merch table, make sure to buy our records, just try to help support the band so they can continue to live that dream. And people always shit on these bands that end up in these circumstances where they're able to, you know, have this living and have why can't they have a decent life playing music that everybody seems to love? I think that sometimes there is this very negative vibe that comes with money and music. But at the end of the day, musicians deserve to make a living just like everybody else does, because for them it is passion, but it is a passion that they love. It is a job that they love. It is a career that they love. And while their fans are, you know, more than willing to, you know, buy all the rare merch and buy all these things to help support their favorite artist, why does that have to be bad for them? Why can't they have that as a goal?
I think people realize how they're fucking us up. I put auto-tune on worse and cut all the disgust. Hip-hop can do what it wants. Like make country songs and hit number one. That's fucking awesome. We could never do that. All the fans that like us see the easy fucking format. They would do that. They'd abuse that. It's a cultural holdback.
Cool shirts, I like cold rings. I want a big house, I want nice things. I want jetpacks for all
Hey!
big house, I want nice things.
You don't love me the same. It's such a fucking shame. I don't deserve as much as all your puppets. You wanna hear my art, but only on your terms. So what are these fucking words? Get this straight, you wanna say, and well I live, but my life's okay. Do I get a car? Hope it's not too nice. Tell me everything you're comfortable with, then I'll comply. Can I pay rent? Sure, not much else. Can I try new sounds? Go fuck yourself. Tell me what I get. Tell me what I earn. Tell me all the things you wanna know. Give me some.
Okay, again, talking about the fact that, so they made a comment about, you know, make a country song, hit number one. They're never going to be able to do that, especially doing with the sound that they do, because here's the thing, especially with the days of Warped Tour being gone, so many bands were so massive because of headlining Warped Tour. They were everywhere. I think of bands like Sleeping with Sirens, bands like Pierce the Veil, all these bands that had so much momentum, so much hype, making a sound that like isn't normally popular, but became massively popular. When you look at artists that are playing around in this pop punk sort of style, being a little bit more progressive, a little bit more alternative, I kind of hear that in their sound. I mean, that music is not set up to make you successful, but why can't it be? Because the fan bases are huge. Why can't that same support go to these smaller bands? And why does it have to be so fucking shitty for them to want to have to be able to pay their bills, you know? Like, it doesn't fucking make sense.
Don't love me the same. It's such a fucking shame. I don't deserve as much as all your puppets. You wanna hear my art, but only on your terms. So what are these fucking words? You don't love me the same. It's such a fucking shame.
Fuck yeah.
Never be enough until it's too late.
Woo!
You wanna hear my art, but only on your terms. So what are these fucking words?
Cool shirts, I like cold rings. I want a big house, I want nice things. I want jetpacks for all my friends. I want a big house, I want nice things.
Stop! We're trying to practice.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the lyricism in this band more than anything. As much as obviously I love that pop punk sound. And like I said, they are very progressive and experimental in their sound. I just love the lyricism. It's just point blank. It's honest. You are just admitting the fact that this stuff is hard for bands. And people always want to, oh my God, the amount of hate that I see bands get because of the, hate even to say it, quote unquote, sell out. What the fuck does that even mean? The amount of people that have said that Green Day is not a punk band because of all the success that they have, all the shit that Anti-Flag got for signing to a major record label, all of these things that continue to go on, people are so upset to see bands that they are willing to, you know, get tattooed on their bodies and wear all over themselves with merch and buy all their records. They hate the fact that they're able to pay their rent and maybe buy something nice for themselves. Like, why does it have to be that way? And it's always been that way with music. And the minute a band, here's a great example, A Day to Remember. I talk about A Day to Remember because I was the right age when they first came out to get to see some of those first shows where they played very small rooms, and it was just that sort of DIY kind of feeling of MySpace like metal and MySpace hardcore and all these fun things that were kind of happening at that time. And obviously that band, because they are so fucking talented, were able to make some really big leaps and bounds over a couple records, and then finally getting out of Victory Records and moving even further. They are so successful. And the amount of people that talk about how the fact that their songs are all too perfectly orchestrated, they're too well put together, they are too well written. What the fuck? All for money. Who gives a shit? Because at the end of the day, they are passionate about what they do or they wouldn't have kept doing it for so long. Touring is not easy for any band, yet the fact that so many bands are able to put so much heart and soul into those tours day after day, we have to stop giving hate to people that are getting success. Like, you have to, because if you want these bands to stick around, they have to make some money to make a living. Otherwise, for example, pretty much 95% of my favorite bands are all broken up because they never hit more than like 10,000 listeners on Spotify. They never got a chance to get signed to any record label where they made any money. They never got those opportunities. And so I've had to see first shows and last shows of bands that I would literally give my entire soul to because they couldn't make more than $10 on a tour. And it's crazy to me that fans are willing to shit all over the fact of the success. So I love the fact that Waterparks is very outspoken. I love that. So I definitely want to check out more of their music because I love the fact that the honesty and the lyricism is here. I absolutely love this entire concept here. I love the fact that in the most recent song that they put out, they were able to like have little nods back to older songs that they had. And yeah, this is fucking tight. So Jody, thank you so much. I know you said this is one of your favorite bands and I can definitely see why. There's a lot to like here. So hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comment section other stuff you'd like to see from Waterparks. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.